Hey guys, it's back. Link to the past. Anyway. Yeah, so... Oh man. So I thought I'd get out and take a little bit of a walk here, since I had kind of one of those rare opportunities. It's the middle of February here, and today's high is like 55 degrees. Of course, this is nothing new, you know, we've had all through January, it was like this too. Every like week or 2 weeks or so, you just had this random couple of days where it was just hot, or, you know, hot by comparison, not necessarily hot. As you can hear in the background, it's rather busy out here today, so that's kind of cool. So, you can't blame people for taking advantage of a day like this, so I'll tell you what. You know, anyway, I'll just pull up my phone here. I forgot to bring my headphones with me, so I guess I won't be listening to no music. That's okay, that means I can pay more attention to my Pokemon Go, because I am such a loser. No, I'm just kidding. But, I actually found out yesterday that, this guy I went to high school with, Jeff Culpepper, sent me a message on Facebook. He was asking about the Peggy's store that I mentioned on one of my tapes. And, yeah, so I replied to him and told him about it, at least what I remembered anyway. So I don't know if that store even still exists, but, yeah, I got us our Poke Stop for the day, so that'll be 2 days in a row. So, yeah, I haven't had a streak for a while here, so we get to start that up again. But anyway, I'm gonna actually sit you down for a minute, so I can do this without holding you. So I got like 2 Pidgeys here. I'd really like to get them if I can. Alright. It's funny, the kids come down here to play on the playground, and I come down here to play video games. What do you know? But yeah, it's kind of weird. I just didn't expect that, you know, because I don't know, I never really knew him when I was in high school that much. So what I'm trying to do now is like trying to remember if there was any point I ever mentioned him on the tapes. So I don't think. I know there was one, like from '94, when we went to Hurricane Shoals this one day for like a pre-graduation party or something. And somebody made like a mashed potato, I don't know what they did, they mixed a bunch of mashed potatoes with something. And then somebody else came along and said, what is that, a mashed potato sundae or something? Yeah, I remember that whoever said that, their name was Jeff, but I don't think it was him. It was like a different Jeff, I don't remember that. Of course, nowadays when you say the name Jeff, I think of Space Hamster, you know. Of course, he's all alone in the Minecraft hardcore now, to see how much longer he can survive. This would be pretty funny. There's really not a whole lot going on. I'm having a really tough time trying to get my sleep pattern back in check. Because, like, every single night, you would think I would run out of things to do, you know? You think there'd just be one day where something wouldn't just so happen to come up that catches my interest and keeps me busy. But, you know, one night it's this, the other night it's that. You know, all it takes is to find a Reddit thread, you know, and go down the rabbit hole, and next thing you know, it's 3:30 in the morning. And then last night, I went over to start reading over my old ePinions reviews again, because it seems like I do that once every couple of months. I spend a night just going through and reminiscing about those old, you know, trying to find one that I haven't read in a while, so maybe there'll be some random memory in there that I forgot about, you know. So there's that. That comes up every couple of months, or even every month, I don't know. So last night it was that. This is like one end of the park where nobody ever seems to really come, so I kind of like to hang out here. Plus his 2 Poke Stops are like right over there, so it makes it pretty easy to get a bunch of Pokeballs. Anyway. But yeah, so so who knows what it's going to be tonight. But this last couple of days I've been on this little routine where I've like wake up and come out here and walk, and then I come home and record Edgeworth Investigations, and like for the last 2 days in a row now I've done that. I'm probably going to do it today too. But the thing is, I actually got all those videos edited on the same day that I recorded them, so that was nice. So, you know, if I could just do that every day, I'd get way ahead on my recording. You know, but instead I always find something stupid to do. I don't know what kind of tracks these are. I guess deer tracks? I'm not sure. Doesn't look like a dog. I'm not sure for that. Anyway, you can see the stream is really pretty active. The other day it was like rolling, and the water was just flying through there. It's like crazy. Always reminds me of going fishing down in Georgia. You know, I didn't appreciate that as much as I should have. It's like I always said on the, it'll come up on the tapes. There's rants about me saying, oh, fishing is so boring. Why does people like it so much? You know, and nowadays it's like, I've always just kind of been the person who feels like, you know, if I'm not making progress on something, then I'm not spending my time wisely, you know, but it's like, you can't always be making progress, you know, you can't always be building something. It's like an obsession of mine. If I'm not doing something to help make my YouTube channel bigger, then I'm wasting my time. I'm not thinking about the future, you know. So, I don't know. But then at the same time, there's like that other part of me that's all worried about my mortality and everything. I know I shouldn't think like that. You know, your mom's sitting in the next room, 62 years old, she's got cancer, and you're worried about your mortality? I have no right whatsoever. And yet I still do. I don't know if it's just turning 40 is doing that to me. But whatever, you know, it's like, you have days like that, that's the thing, you know, next day might be totally different. Who even knows? Anyway. It's pretty peaceful out here. It's already close to the end of the day, though. It's like I got up and I ate breakfast and I came straight here, you know, and look. It's like the sun's already going down. So I gotta stop this, man. I gotta stop staying up so late. Stop staying up so late. Little tongue twister for you there. Well, how much time have I been even talking? I don't even know. 8 minutes. Yeah. So not really much else to report. The next tape that I'm going to put up is February 24th, 1992. February 24th is the tape where I talk about how I learned how to make myself burp. Right, there was some point in high school where I learned how to do that, how to just burp anytime I wanted to. And February 24th is the tape where I talk about that. And then I start going on about people who got mad at me for it. So, like, there's this one part of the tape where I'm talking about this girl, Teresa, and I'm saying, oh, she disappointed me. I thought they were the nicest girls in the world, but she got mad at me for my burps today. It's like, who wouldn't, dude? That's nasty. I don't want to hear that shit. Especially not when you're trying to study, you know? You're sitting over there, bop, 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 bop. Seriously. And then, like, there's another part where I'm in the library on lunch, and I'm like, Lisa Neal had to tell me 3 times to stop. You know, it's like all these names coming up of people, and it's like, yeah, I was such a dick. You know, you had the audacity to come in here and start burping in people's faces, and then call them out and say that they're they're you know, that they're wrong. You know, for calling you out. It's like it doesn't work that way. You can call somebody out for calling you out when what they called you out on was actually something. Well, see, my case was who gets harmed by a burp. You know, it doesn't physically harm anybody, but it's still gross. Like, it still has a physical effect on some people. You know, I wish I could go in, you know, and interrupt the tape and say, you know, and explain this stuff so that people just went in and listened to the tape. They'd know, you know, that I didn't mean it, or that I realized I was wrong. So, I mean, I could put words up on the screen, you know, but then what if people are just listening to it in another window and they don't see the words? Then it's, how do you do that? I mean, it feels like I would be killing the continuity of the tape if I interrupted with my present-day voice to clarify something every 5 minutes, to explain why I was being such a butthole surfer. I got a tape all the way from April 24th of that year that's coming up, and I'm saying the same things on that tape. I have this whole thing about, oh, you know, there is no commandment that says thou shalt not burp. And he says stuff like, so maybe a little impolite, but God didn't invent that rule. You know. So it's like, where do you draw the line? And I guess I was starting to get a little smarter with that whole thing, because I'm like, well, yeah, you got a point there. But then I took the debate over to the 4th commandment, thou shalt honor thy father and mother. And it's like, oh, well, if he says thou shalt honor thy father and mother and they say don't burp, I guess you better not burp. Even though I see no harm in it, he says. It's just he couldn't see so many things I didn't understand as a young person, but, you know, so whatever. Anyway. But yeah, I guess I didn't really want all of my videos for the last several weeks here to all be from like the distant past or me telling my life story. You know, and here's the thing, life story part 7 of my life story, it's basically done. The problem is it's 40 minutes long, and for the last 20 minutes of it, all I do is talk about Lost. So I'm like, well, this isn't going to be very funny to listen to for someone who has never seen the show. And then what makes it even worse is the part of what I was talking about there. I mean, I didn't say this directly, but I did sort of imply that some of the theories that I came up with about stuff in the show was better than what the show actually did. You know, and some people, maybe those who have followed me for a really long time might still remember that. But, because I know there is a big, you know, the Lost ending is pretty controversial. You know, you got people who love it and you got people who can't stand it. I don't mind the ending so much. What I do mind is that they just took away, well, I don't want to get into this now, but I mean, at the end of the day, it just feels like from season 4 onward, they really took away a lot of the personal parts of the characters' lives and made it all about them running away from Widmore, you know. It's like you never hear anything about Hurley's friends ever again. In all of Hurley's flashbacks, all he's doing is freaking out and running away from Widmore, hanging out at the Mental Institute. There I go, just stuttering again. But yeah, well, we're not going to get into that right now. I did come out here and record a video about 2 weeks ago. It was like a response to PewDiePie's whole thing about forced positivity. And, you know, I spent about 2 days editing it, listening to it 100 times, before eventually just trashing it because I just didn't care for it. I don't know why that happens. It's just I don't know. You know, stuff I said in the video. Well, I got into this whole thing in the video where I had this theory about how it's impossible. You know how they make those triangles and they say you can have 2, but you can't have all 3 points of the triangle? And my triangle was positivity, being real, and being entertaining. It's like you can be positive and you can be real, but that's not very entertaining, you know? So you can, on the other hand, you can be positive and be entertaining, but then it's not real, you know, like game shows. And then you can be real and entertaining, but it's hard to do that and be positive. Because most of the stuff that people find entertaining is negative, like Gordon Ramsay, or it's pretty much all of reality TV. Stuff like Big Brother, Survivor. You know, the most fun parts about those shows are when people fight. That's why I say, like, to be real and entertaining, you almost have to be negative. But it's funny how people never talk about forced negativity. It's like when people are negative, nobody ever says that's forced. It's like, why is that? Is it because they're more inclined to believe somebody when they're being negative? Is that so much easier to believe? And yet it's so hard to believe it when somebody's trying to be positive? I don't know. But, yeah, well, I just didn't, I don't know. I wasn't really happy with where the discussion went. I didn't really... There were too many things that I wish I'd said that I'd left out. Things that I wish I'd clarified better, but anyway. Oh, 1950. Yeah. Well, sorry, it's been kind of a boring video and I haven't really shown you me yet. There I am, fat as ever. See you later.